What if the voice inside your head isn't telling you the truth? It whispers warnings. It shows you visions of everything that could go wrong. It tells you that danger is just around the corner, that you're not ready, that you're not enough. Sounds reasonable, logical, protective. But what if that voice is lying? Anxiety doesn't come to you as an enemy. It comes dressed as a friend, a protector, a guide. But underneath its mask is something more deceptive, something far more dangerous. It builds a prison inside your mind and calls it safety. It tells you that pain is waiting, that failure is inevitable, that peace is foolish. It convinces you that worry is preparation, that panic is wisdom, that fear is truth. But what if none of that is real? What if your anxiety isn't a signal from your soul, but an echo from your past? Thousands of years ago, fear saved your life. In the wild, our ancestors relied on fear to survive, running from predators, staying alert in the dark, preparing for winter, hunger, war. It was raw, immediate, useful, but we don't live in caves anymore. Still, the same systems fire off, only now they react to emails, deadlines, awkward conversations, silence, the unknown. Your brain was designed to keep you alive, not to make you happy. It's wired to spot threats even when they aren't real. And when it can't find any, it creates them. You feel like something bad is coming, even if nothing is. You can't relax, because your brain thinks calm is dangerous. The amygdala doesn't know the difference between a lion and a thought, between real danger and a painful memory. So the alarm rings, over and over again, and the more you listen, the more real it feels. But here's the secret. Anxiety is not a warning from the future. It's a memory from the past. Anxiety tricks you into thinking, if I worry now, I'll be ready later. If I overthink it, I won't be caught off guard. If I stress about it, maybe I can prevent it. This is the illusion of control. Your mind plays every possible scenario, trying to stay one step ahead of life. But what it really does is keep you from living. It's like running through a burning maze that only exists in your imagination. And every time you listen, it tightens its grip, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it's trying to protect a version of you that no longer exists. Like a guard dog that can't tell the difference between a burglar and the mailman, your anxiety barks at everything. But you never stop to ask, is this actually a threat? You obey the fear. You believe the thought, and without realizing it, you hand over your freedom. Here's where the lie runs deeper. That anxious voice, the one that criticizes you, questions you, terrifies you. That voice might not even be yours. Maybe it sounds like you. Maybe you've heard it for so long you think it is you, but look closer. That voice might be your mother's fear, your father's expectations, a teacher's disapproval, a culture's demand, a trauma's echo. These voices become internalized. They become the narrator of your life, and they don't tell the truth, they repeat the programming. If I'm not perfect, I'll be rejected. If I relax, I'll fall behind. If I'm not anxious, I'm not prepared. Where did these ideas come from? Who installed this fear into your nervous system? Was it really you, or were you just trying to survive? The psychologist Carl Jung called this the shadow, the hidden parts of you that were shamed, rejected, or punished. Parts you had to hide to be accepted. Your anxiety stands guard at the door of those shadows, terrified they'll be seen. But freedom only comes when you stop obeying the guard and start listening to the soul it's trying to protect. There comes a moment. Maybe it's quiet, maybe it's sudden, maybe it's after years of suffering, but it comes, you ask yourself, is this true? Is the story anxiety keeps telling is actually real? You start to notice the patterns. You realize the same thoughts come back again and again, like reruns on a loop. You realize most of the things you feared never happened, or if they did, you survived. You begin to doubt the anxious voice, not with panic, but with curiosity. You ask, is this thought helpful? Is it true? Is it mine? And in that moment of questioning, a crack forms in the wall. the story starts to unravel. You see that anxiety isn't some powerful force. It's just a scared storyteller who never learned to stop talking. Now comes the paradox. If anxiety lies, why does it feel so real? Because anxiety isn't evil. It's misunderstood. It's not trying to destroy you. It's trying to protect you. But it only knows how to do that through fear. What if, instead of resisting anxiety, you listen to its message? What if the panic wasn't saying danger is coming now, but you're carrying too much? What if the fear wasn't about the future, but about your need for rest, boundaries, healing? Anxiety is like a child crying for attention. It doesn't need punishment, it needs understanding. In ancient traditions, fear wasn't something to escape. It was a sacred gate, a test, a rite of passage. Maybe anxiety is not the villain. Maybe it's the messenger that you've outgrown your cage. When you stop believing every anxious thought, something strange happens. You don't go numb. You don't become careless. You wake up. You realize there's a quiet presence underneath the noise. The fear doesn't disappear, but it loses its grip. You begin to watch your thoughts instead of becoming them. You become the observer, not the prisoner. This is what the mystics spoke of: to die before you die, to see that you are not your mind, but the space behind it. As Rumi once said, you were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? The anxious voice is not your truth. It's your test, and the real you, the deeper you, is waiting on the other side of that test. So now ask yourself, who are you without the fear? Who are you beneath the panic? If the anxious voice is lying, what's the truth you've never dared to believe? You are not your thoughts. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are the one who watches, the one who breathes through the storm, the one who remembers the silence beneath it all. And that silence is not empty. It's where your freedom lives. What if the voice in your head is lying to you? What if the anxiety that follows you, haunting your thoughts, tightening your chest, stealing your sleep, isn't telling you the truth? What if it never was? We trust it. We believe it. We obey it. That voice that says something is wrong, you're not safe, you're not enough. It feels real. It feels urgent. And so, we follow its command. We cancel the trip. We overthink the message. We brace for things that never happen. But here's the truth most never dare to consider. Anxiety is not your intuition. It's not your inner wisdom. It's not a glimpse into the future. It's a distortion, a false prophet, a trick of the mind built long ago, whispering half-truths into your soul. It wants you to stay small, stay scared, stay hidden. And if you never stop to question it, you'll believe the lie for the rest of your life. But today something changes. Today we turn inward, not to fight anxiety, not to fear it, but to see it. To understand what it really is, where it came from, and how it controls your story without you even knowing. This is not a story about fixing yourself. It's a story about waking up. To understand anxiety, we must go back, way back. Imagine a world where every sound in the dark could mean death. A broken twig, a shadow in the tall grass. For early humans, fear wasn't a problem. It was a survival strategy. Your ancestors lived in a world where not worrying could get you killed, and so the mind evolved to expect the worst, to scan for danger, to keep you alive at any cost. But now, you don't live in the jungle anymore. The threats have changed, but the system hasn't. Today, that same ancient brain sees danger in a late reply, a social slip-up, a change in tone. It reacts to imagined futures the same way it once reacted to predators. Your heart races, your thoughts spiral, your breath shortens, and you think, this must mean something is wrong, but it doesn't. The truth is, anxiety is a leftover reflex. A deeply wired pattern from a world that no longer exists. It's like a smoke alarm going off every time you toast bread. Useful once, but now mostly noise. That doesn't mean anxiety is fake. it means it's outdated. It's using old tools to solve new problems. And if you can see that, it starts to lose its grip because anxiety can only control you when you believe it's helping. But when you see it for what it is, just an ancient ghost echoing in your nervous system, you can finally breathe. Anxiety has a trick, a secret move. It makes you believe that if you just think hard enough, plan well enough, worry long enough, you'll be safe. It says, if you prepare for every possible outcome, nothing bad will happen. But this is the lie. And it's the one we fall for every time. Because underneath all anxiety is a single illusion, the illusion of control. You think if you rehearse the conversation 10 more times, you'll avoid embarrassment. You think if you analyze the silence in their voice, you'll prevent rejection. You think if you stay alert enough, you'll never get blindsided. But this is imagination pretending to be insight. Anxiety shows you 1,000 futures and convinces you they're real.